I'm Sarah Bailey. I'm a certified professional coach and wife and mother of 4 kiddos, of ages almost 10 to just turned 2. And I'm making another video today. I just want to tell y'all how just completely blown away I am from the response from my last video. I sat down a couple days ago and decided I was going to talk about one of the biggest roadblocks that my clients and people that I know and even I face, and that's negativity and how it shows up. And I put it out there, and now over about 1,500 people have watched it, which is huge. I'm so excited, shocked, and just so excited about it. Lots of great comments, lots of thank yous, but I want to thank y'all for watching, because that's huge. And one of the things that I like the most about coaching is being able to really share these ideas and help people's lives live better lives and happier lives. And so that is huge to me. I'm just completely blown away. So like I said at the end of the video, I was going to start thinking about some other things that really came up in life and other roadblocks that the people that I work with deal with. And it's funny because after the last video, I had a big roadblock come up for me personally. And so I'm going to talk to you about another way that negativity shows up and how it specifically showed up in my life. And that's with expectations. We put expectations on so many things that we do, and that can lead to lots of different emotions and feelings and disappointments and all sorts of roadblocks that can show up because of these expectations that we set for ourselves. So just to give you a little example in my life, and it just happened the other day after my first video. When I sat down to film, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a shot. I may not even post it. It's going to be, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I did my talk on entrainment and how energy sync and shift, and you can go from positive to negative or negative to positive, and did the video and got so many responses. But what happened right after I posted it was what was so interesting. And from then on. So I put it out there, and that's when I started feeling a little bit vulnerable and starting to worry and self-doubt. Oh, should I just take it down? And then of course I get that first view, and okay, so somebody saw it, somebody's watching, and a couple people started watching here and there. So I thought to myself, okay, so what do I want to get out of this? What's the point of doing that video in the first place? So aside from the fact that my goal was to help people, to help anyone who watched it really understand how our positive and negative energy can be influenced by external forces, I really, thought, okay, so I would love if 250 people watched it. That's a respectable number. I figure some people will watch it just because they know me and they want to support me. Some people may stumble across it and maybe it'll help. I just thought, okay, so that's my expectation is, number one, I really want people to understand this message. So anybody who hears it, I hope it helps them in their life. But for me, number two, my expectation is maybe, 250 people watch it. So then it started growing and growing, and I was excited. People started sharing and writing comments and thanking me for posting it. And so I started getting real excited, and oh my gosh, this is, people are really connecting to what I'm putting out there, and this is important to them. And I'm so excited that I can really share this and help these people who have experienced it but didn't really know what it was, and now when they have this experience again, it can really help them see it for what it is and hopefully maintain their energy level. So then the numbers start ticking up, and I was like, oh wow, this is so exciting. So when it hit, I don't even know what number, that is when I started experiencing the negative aspect of the expectations, because once I've met and started to exceed my expectation of 250 viewers, then I started to say, oh wow, well, what do I do next? So instead of just being excited and saying, okay, these people are really this is resonating with the people who are watching the video. This is something that, I'm helping people. How exciting. Instead of really just celebrating that, I start thinking, well, what am I going to do next? So that's when things like worry and self-doubt and vulnerability really start to creep in. And those are the negative aspects of a roadblock that came in after a success, after I set an expectation and I reached it and I was so excited, and it didn't take long. I was all of a sudden in this other space where I was self-doubt, negative, worry. Am I going to be a one-hit wonder? Is anyone going to ever watch another video that I do? So I start getting in my head and getting all nervous and anxious, and start thinking about, what do I do next? Instead of really saying, you know what, this is awesome. This is something that really can help people, and it's reaching people, and I'm so excited. And that's my goal as a life coach, is to help people really figure out where they are, where they want to be, and connect those dots. So the thing about this, the interesting thing about this is, there's something in all of us. In my coaching program, we call it a gremlin. It's this little voice in your head. Some people call it your ego, or people say, oh, there's an angel on one side and the devil on the other side, and it's the self-doubt, and it's all that. That's kind of your inner voice. And so there are lots of different ways that people talk about this, but I'm going to talk about this little guy inside your brain, and I'm going to call him our gremlin. So he's in there, and his job is to keep us safe and small. So there are amazing things about every single one of us. So many things that we have to offer that are so unique and wonderful about each of us, that we're gifted when we're born, and we have these amazing opportunities that only we have because we're so unique and different. Nobody ever before has ever been like us, and nobody ever after us will ever be like us again. So we just have these amazing opportunities and gifts. But this little guy and this little voice in our head is saying, you know what? I don't know if you should try that. Or, you did great. That was one shot. But just, let's just... The job of the gremlin is to keep you safe and small. So he's your protector. He looks at the past. He says, well, remember when that happened? Didn't turn out so great. Or, you did it one time. It's never going to happen again. So this is the voice that is telling you, no, don't do it. Don't go there. Don't take that risk, that calculated risk. Don't put yourself out there. Don't be vulnerable, because this is what happened the last time, or this is what could happen, or do you remember when this happened to so-and-so? Those are the things that really keep us from meeting our potential and exceeding our potential. I mean, there's just so many things that could happen in our lives, and we can do so many great things, but we are our biggest roadblock because of these negative things like worry, self-doubt, being afraid of afraid of being vulnerable, that little gremlin in your head saying, I wouldn't go there if I were you. It's too risky. There's a chance. But what about the other chance? What about the thing that could happen that could just be amazing for you and exactly what you're meant for? So one of the tools that I like to talk about when I'm talking about, things like worry or self-doubt and things like that get in our way, and expectations, all around this idea of expectations, is celebrate your successes. We spend about 2 minutes celebrating a success and about 20 nitpicking all the things that went wrong with it. Oh, I could have done this, or this would have been better. I was talking to Michael, my husband, after the video, and I said, oh, what do you think? And he's like, it was great. And then he laughed, and I said, what are you talking about? And he said, at the very end, when you were smiling and you were being really still, and you could see your little arm go and turn it off. So I'm cracking up because, he loves me and supports me so much. But totally, I noticed that. I said, oh my gosh, if I could edit. If I knew how to edit a video, I could have taken care of that. But it's so funny because those are the things that we notice and harp on and really focus on, is the negatives, instead of the things like, oh my gosh, those people said, now I have a tool for when I'm stuck in traffic, or now I know what it's called. I have a friend who told me that she watched it at her office and showed it to all of her coworkers and said, this is our word of the day. This is something that we're going to talk about in entrainment, and this is something that's important for us to remember. And that was like all day long they were cutting up and realizing that there it is again, there it is again. Oh my gosh. So like those are the things to celebrate, is that this is really helping people. Instead, I sort of gotten in my own head, and that little guy Gremlin was saying, I don't know if I would do another video, because what if they don't watch? So celebrate our successes. That's so important. Also, when you set an expectation, it's just a guide. Don't get hung up on the exact number or amount or feedback that you think you need to have, or the exact way that the scenario should work itself out. Because sometimes we just don't know, and there are other possibilities that are different, better, just some things that we can't even imagine. So another thing to think about is NATO, not attached to the outcome. That is something that's so important. If you can just put yourself out there and know it is what it is, and I'm just going to enjoy the experience and be in it just for the experience, and let all that other stuff go, you'll be so surprised how much more you'll enjoy the things that you do, and put yourself out there more. And then see the bright spots as divine intervention. We're given all these wonderful gifts that make us so unique, and to be able to say, you know what, that was what I was meant to do, and that was me sharing my gifts. I just was able to share them with people I know, people I don't know. What a gift that is to me, to be able to share these amazing things that are unique about me, that I'm meant and made to share. So the last thing I want to talk to you about when I close is, don't let those roadblocks get in your way. Don't let negativity and anticipation and worry and self-doubt, don't let that stop you. And things don't have to be huge and grand and wonderful. You just have to remember that the things that you do just need to matter. And when they do, that expectation and that bar and that anticipation, all of that doesn't matter anymore, because your goal is to matter, not to have this huge expectation. So I'm thinking of lots of great other ideas for y'all. If you have ideas, I'd love for you to share it with me, what you'd like to hear about. I have lots of good ideas and stuff that I've learned from my coaching and from my clients and from my family and friends, and so I'd love to share those with you. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.